everybody, welcome to Season 3 of Paper Jam. Now, no hate on this one. I keep getting hate, and I will be honest, I don't mind it as much as the last guy who had this channel, but it'll get okay, I guess. If y'all stop hating. But anyway, let's actually do something good. Today's episode, we have Steven versus Dipper. Episode 1 of Season 3. Now, if y'all don't mind me asking, we are going to be using old Steven, which has trouble pulling out his shield, and the one where he doesn't have the spiky bubble, and of course just old him in general. But anyway, let's begin with Steven. Steven is basically a copy of his mother, aka his mother became him so that she would use him. When I say use him, I mean as an actual body for Steven to control. Now, just because Rose has the same gem doesn't mean it's the same person. With Lion at Steven's side, Steven is powerful. And with his fusion abilities, which he learned from Garnet and Amethyst and Pearl, it's really good how he's able to use his powers. Steven also is very powerful with the way he uses his ideas as well. Now, you might be wondering, but ideas aren't everything. It can't win. But yet, Steven does have experience some down deep inside of him. Now, Steven isn't the best at all, but he still is good. Steven is also a bright shining star in the Crystal Gem's eyes. Now, with his bubble shield, he is able to bounce back anything, and it can survive space. Yep, that's right. The bubble can survive space. And Steven can enlarge in it, but as I said before, we are just using modern Steven, aka old Steven. Well, anyway, with the power of his shield, which he can sometimes pull out, it is very, very good how he does it. He pulls it out of his belly button gem, whatever that is. But anyway, he pulls it out of his gem, and it actually is a shield, which he can fire from his stomach, or he can fire from his arm manually. Now, he's very unexperienced with how he uses the shield, although it does have the ability to block hollow swords, which has an ability to cut, actually not to cut, but to kill Pearl. Well, anyway, let's move on with Dipper. Dipper is a little boy who actually came to Gravity Falls to see his grunkle. But, of course, everything in Gravity Falls is weird. Pretty much everything he's used to by now. He has definitely fought Bill tons of times. He's also fought many of Bill's clones or cyclones, or of course his minions. Now, with Bill's reality warping powers, Bill is actually strong enough to destroy 2 moons. That's right, 2 moons. Now, Bill is actually very powerful. Dipper is too. With his common fighting experience, he also has a shrinking flashlight, a growing flashlight, and of course just a modern flashlight. But anyway, he still has ways to use it. He also has like a burning candle sword, apparently. And of course his spells, which are like fire, he is able to use manually. Now, he's very unexperienced with fighting, and he's very unexperienced in regularly. Now, of course he has fought Bill, experienced, but of course, just Bill in general would actually wipe the floor with Dipper. Well, anyway, let's begin with the battle. Remember, this while we're using old Steven, not this Steven. Well, anyway, let's begin. Explain why Dipper won and Steven lost. Well, Steven is mainly unexperienced and, of course, undurable. And the only weapon that can actually deal damage is the shield. But, of course, he's unexperienced with that, too. Also, most of his weapons are for defense and, of course, not for much attack. Now, with Dipper, on the other hand, he has numerous ways to kill Steven. By shrinking him, obliging himself to step on Steven, just like how he did to kill him, and of course many other ways how Steven could lose. Basically like how Steven is unexperienced, as I said before, and of course Dipper has fought reality warpers. Imagine how strong he would be against just a little kid. Well, anyway, as that is said, let's see who's next on Paper Jam.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Bye!
Get ready for the next battle.